feel like I have a really good eye for talent, especially at the receiver position. So, I can tell when somebody, is going to make an immediate impact, and I think they both have the chance to do that. They were highly rated guys, so most of you already know that, but from my point of view, they're definitely special.
I guess what makes Wesco first, unique?
Say that again?
What makes Wesco unique, if you're talking about that?
I would say just his ability to influence at the top of routes. You saw in the spring game, he can make spectacular catches. So just that size and frame and quickness he has the chance to be special for sure.
Same question with Moore. I guess what's unique about him compared to everybody else in your receiver pool?
I would say the same thing. He has that size, 6'3", I think, but he's a little bit bigger than Wesco, weighs more. But he definitely has a chance to make an immediate impact just like Wesco.
Antonio, what have you seen from Cade so far that maybe he didn't show last year during camp?
He's rocking the mullet now, so I think just off first impression, just when I saw that, I see some more confidence from him, growing and maturing as a leader on this team. Guys look up to him, I look up to him, So I'm just excited to see that on the field this fall. A new Cade Klubnik. I think really the end of last season was really big for him. That last Kentucky game, I think, was a big step for him.
Anything different on the field so far from him, just in from what you've seen?
Just his second year in the offense, so making checks and when he's seeing the defense, just he has the power to make any call he wants when he sees something he likes. So just reading defenses and getting the ball out quicker and more precise.
How about you? How are you feeling coming into this season, and how did this offseason treat you? What were you able to do and accomplish that you had set out to?
I think my goal coming from last season, I felt in the Duke game I just was kind of sluggish, and I think it was partly just conditioning and my weight. Not saying that the strength coaches did anything wrong. I think it was just me easing through kind of from my freshman season. I just felt like maybe I was just entitled and didn't have to work as hard because I thought it came easy to me. But just after sitting out last season, I just wanted to get my body right, so I kind of cut weight down a little bit. So I'm just playing faster and staying in shape and trying to get in game shape before our first game, because that first game is no joke, so we got to come out ready, play one.
Can you just talk about what it's like to be in that situation? College football is incredibly humbling, especially when you least expect it. Just what's it like to battle that and to come out this other side and to feel how different you feel after going through some adversity?
I think it was definitely humbling, and it kind of, my sophomore year of high school, I probably told y'all this story a million times, but I was just hurt, and it kind of is the same situation I was in last year, and didn't have any offers, but then it just put this feeling inside of me that just made me go out and make plays, and I had that my freshman year and my freshman year of college, but then I feel like I lost it a little bit. So I have it back now, so I'm just ready to go improve it.
I think Coach Sweeney said this has been your best offseason that you really attacked it. Was that the motivation? Just felt like just kind of disappointment from the way sophomore year went, that's why I'm going to go out and kind of do what you did, I guess, in the offseason.
Yeah, I feel like he just put just more weight on my shoulders just to lead this group. So it wasn't just me. Last year before, I was looking up to Bo and guys like that. So and Joe. So now I feel like it's me and Adam's turn to really like lead this group. So just taking that role and kind of building that part of my my character as well has just helped my game too, I feel like.
Coach Grisham mentioned that kind of Adam brought wide receiver university T-shirts for like even other receivers, I guess. How has he taken on that leadership role as well as yourself during offseason with the younger guys?
Adam's definitely a vocal leader for sure, and he leads by example. I think we have different leadership styles. He's more of the talker, and I'm more of the example, just by what I do. But he gave us those shirts, and it said wide receiver U, and then under it says prove it, because we haven't proven it these last couple of years. So that's the standard here, and probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, we were at that point where we were mentioned as wide receiver U. So I think just as a group, we have to have the mentality to get back there, and just not to say it, but go and prove it this year.
I guess you guys practicing without coaches during the offseason, how has that kind of driven you guys entering preseason practice so far with the coaches back and everything entering this year?
You got to do the work when nobody's watching. That's something that Coach Sweeney says. You got to do the work when there's no light, so you can shine when there is. But just, holding everybody accountable, the young guys, and just taking them under my wing, showing them the ways, and not letting anybody slack or not do anything to the Clemson standard.
Antonio, you mentioned wide receiver U and wanting to prove it. How much pressure are you guys putting on yourselves to earn that nickname again?
There's pressure just playing this sport, but I think it's a good type of pressure. You got to embrace it, and I wanna be the guy that gives us that title back. So I love it. I love hearing those things that those doubters. But at the end of the day, it's just we got to prove it. We got to go out there and show it. We can't really talk about it.
Coach Sweeney's talked about the depth in the wide receiver room. 5 guys that have started. Obviously, we know all about TJ and Brian and everyone else you have. How would you describe the depth and the talent that you guys have in the wide receiver room?
I would say this is the most depth we've had. And that's a good thing, not just for injuries, but for competition. So, if I could say for myself, if I could last year, I could get lazy because I thought, nobody can take my spot. So I still feel that way in my head, but just knowing that somebody is behind me that they're hungry too, and I can't slack around and just think that something's gonna be handed to me just because of past success. So just that depth, I think that's good for our room, just because it's gonna push us to take that next step.
How do you balance helping out the younger guys, trying to make sure that you have your spot? We look and we hear things about these freshman wide receivers. Tyler came in last year, showed what he could do when you were down. How do you guys handle the balance of the competition?
Man, TB, he's my boy at the end of the day. So I want to see him succeed just as much as I want to succeed. And when I was hurt and on the sideline, I was still cheering for him and trying to help him in any way I could. So just not being selfish, because there's always going to be competition, and you just got to embrace that and be happy for the other guys in your room. Because if we want to be wide receiver U, it can't just be a one-man army. So it got to be everybody.
When you say wide receiver U and that moniker and everything that it carries, I think everybody kind of has their own perception and people that they think of. Who do you think of? What's that moniker mean? What's that look like to you?
Who do I think of, or like what schools do I think of? What do you...
No, like from Clemson. Is there like anybody specific that like when you think of?
Yeah, obviously Sammy Watkins. I feel like he's the OG. He was just a very explosive player. Every time he touched the ball, it didn't matter if it was a screen, if it was a slant or a go ball. He was gonna score it every time. So him, Mike Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, T. Higgins, Deion, Amari, Hunter. There's so many guys that, like, I can keep naming them. So that's why I feel like that's what that title means. Just having guys that make plays in college and then have successful careers in the NFL.
What do you think has held y'all back from being more explosive in recent years? And what do you think the recipe is to get more sort of the desired explosiveness that you guys want in the passing game?
It could be depth at the. I mean, it's been a lot of reasons. I'm not gonna single any particular group out, but I'll just say it's our fault, not having that depth, and then injuries, and we've had some bad luck at the wide receiver position. So hopefully this is the year we can all put it together.
Take 2 or 3 more for Antonio so we can get to title.
What was it like to kind of gut it out and play in the Gator Bowl and then do what you did, just kind of have that at the very end of the season to, build on after having so much time off in those first few weeks?
It was a tough couple weeks leading up to that. I was dealing with a lot of injuries, and so I wasn't 100%, and I wasn't in my head. I didn't know if I could go out there and be myself, so I didn't want to put that on tape, really. But at the end of the day, I knew I needed to go out there and do the most I could to help my team. And I ended up being pretty crucial on that last drive, so I'm glad I played.
A lot of guys have talked about after the 4-4 start, like how tough that week was before Notre Dame and how everybody kind of turned around and banded together. What do you remember about like that week, meetings and everything, and the finish to win 5 straight after that, kind of being the spot you are now? Well,
I mean, we just knew coming into that team meeting on Monday that we were gonna get yelled at. It wasn't gonna be a nice team meeting, but we needed it. And the thing that I remember the most is just seeing Cade. It's just he wasn't joking around at all. His expressions just on Tiger Walk. I remember he was zoned in. I don't think he smiled at all. Like he might have hugged his family and like not even said I love you. I don't know, but I like to see that from him. I feel like it kind of brought a different swagger to this team that we needed and a different toughness. But yeah.
What's your relationship like with Tyler? I mean, you kind of have some similar styles. You're both South Carolina natives. What's your relationship like with that guy?
That's my guy. He's I think me and him got pretty similar. Just the way we approach the game. He's a pretty laid back, cool, calm type of guy, and that's pretty special at the receiver position because you got to just be locked in, and you got to bring a different swagger to the game. So he's my guy off the field. We hang out and kick it. I go to his house. He comes to mine. We're tight, and I've never felt any type of way like jealous of him or at all. I just want to see him succeed the same way I want to succeed.